Dear friends and colleagues, what is conservation? There are two answers. One, fortress conservation. What governments and the private sector do when displacing us or diminishing our rights for their objectives. In this sense, we are not conservationists. Two, indigenous conservation. What we indigenous peoples have done throughout time, conserving nature and resources in order to sustain ourselves. In this sense, we, the indigenous peoples, are the original conservationists. While the first approach is a legacy of colonialism and ignores the historic role of indigenous peoples and traditional communities, the second is effective and respectful. It allows us to maintain our surroundings as territories of life. The Ambika forest, sacred lakes, vital migratory routes, Hima, Korak, Territories del Buen Viver. There are as many names as there are languages and as many management approaches, from seasonal migration to rotational farming. There are also innumerable governance institutions, from communities of elders to village assemblies, that have kept alive these jewels of biocultural diversity around the world, our source of identity, culture, spiritual wealth, livelihoods, resilience, and pride. All indigenous peoples and traditional societies engage in this sort of conservation. Dear friends and colleagues, our territories of lives are estimated to cover 20 to 25% of landscapes of the world, well beyond the conventional biological diversity's coverage target for 2020. Through agreements with UN agencies, our peer-reviewed territories of life can be internationally registered as ICCAs and properly recognized and supported, if and when desired by their custodian peoples. We recommend the parties to the CBD urgently address situations of protected areas overlapping with our territories of life and prevent destructive development by a strict application of a right to free, prior, and informed consent. We recommend that the Global Environment Facility and other donors, including as part of the commitment for the Sustainable Development Goals, assist the custodians of territories of life as they strengthen themselves, including via participatory mapping, community protocols, plans of life, networks, and alliances. Dear colleagues and friends, the ICCA Consortium is dedicated to supporting territories and areas conserved by indigenous peoples and communities, in short, ICCAs. We have been advocating for recognition of these territories in IUCN and the CBD for more than 15 years, and were formally requested by CBD parties to help prepare guidelines on their proper recognition and support. We express our formal interest in working with the Permanent Forum on matters of conservation and indigenous peoples' rights, and recommend that the Permanent Forum specifically includes a topic of ICCAs, territories of life in their continuing work and in the mandated areas of conservation. Dear friends and colleagues, we also take this opportunity to thank the excellent report on conservation and indigenous peoples' human rights prepared for this 17th session of the Permanent Forum by the Forum Secretariat. Thank you.